Hi, and welcome to a super quick explanation on drawing inequalities on a graph. Required skills are here and here. Both of those are going to recap really quickly. So first things first is recapping drawing horizontal and vertical lines. This is super easy. Remember two things. If you want to plot x equals 2, it's going through the x-axis, or it's x equals. So it's going to go through the x-axis here, and the number's 2. So all it's going to be is a straight line going through number 2. And it is the exact same idea for y equals. So y equals 3, you need to find the y-axis. So up here, 5 minus 3 is, and it's going to be a straight line through that. Okay? Keep in mind there is a special case. If something like x equals 0 can look a bit weird, but that would basically be the straight line going through 0. And all x equals lines want to cut through the x-axis. So it'll be that line there. Okay, that can throw a few people. Lastly, one more special case we'll use a bit in this video, and that's the line y equals x. That's basically all points which have the same y coordinate as x coordinate. So you'll have stuff like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and so on. So just get my ruler. That's going to look something like this line here. Okay, really basic. We're going to use that as well. So, on to the questions. They typically look something like this. You'll be asked to show you the region, and you'll be given a bunch of inequalities that are going to define that region. And we're going to draw them once at a time. So first things first, you ignore the inequalities. You basically just pretend all these are all equal signs. And let's draw them on. So y equals 4 will be there. Y equals minus 2 will be there. X equals 5 will be there, and lastly y equals x, which will be there. So here the important thing is, if you have a less than, that basically means you are below it. So I want to be below this line here. And same, because I've got y is greater than or equal to minus 2, I want to be above that line. So I want to be above this line. X is less than 5. That means all the values where the coordinate is less than 5, so it's this side. And lastly, y is less than or equal to x, because that is a less than sign, that's going to be below again. So I want to be below this line as well. If you combine that all together, that then gives us the following region. And like 9 times out of 10, it tends to be like a nicely enclosed shape. So you've got basically a triangle with the top chopped off over here. Just do one more example. There is also a special case. If you don't have an equal sign, so in this case I've just got y is greater than x, you draw it the same way, but to show the fact it can't equal x, you do a dotted line instead. So let's go through this. Y is greater than x. I just want a dotted line. Now come a second, because this is greater than, we want to be above this line. So I'm going to want to be above this line in a bit. Y is less than 5. So same, no equal sign, so it'll be a dotted line going through 5. And here, starting new notation, if you ever see this, this basically means x is between these two values. I'm going to draw this as two separate inequalities. So here I've got this side, which says x is less than or equal to 2. So that must be a solid line. And this line says minus 1 is less than x. That basically means x is bigger than minus 1. And that can't equal. So it's a dotted line. Now let's throw in the inequalities. I want to be above this line. I want to be in between these two lines. And I want to be below this line. So same as before. We've got like a nice little shape shaded in the middle. Okay, that's it. This does get harder. The way it gets harder is basically these equations become more awkward. So you might have something like 2x plus 3y is less than or equal to 6. Aside from that, it's the exact same idea, but I will cover that in a separate video. Okay, thanks for listening.